warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. Take warning. You better take warning. Take warning. You better do good. Let your light shine bright. Let your light shine right. Respect your fellow man as you should. The evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. Your evil today will blight your tomorrow. So do good today and avoid your sorrow.
Take the message, everybody.
My name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my X next to the cup, and what they are doing today I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a
How we gonna do a body man walk right now? You ready? Box, let me go now. Hear me sing now. Body walk, body walk, body walk, everything, body walk.
All right, hey, good night. Welcome to Straight Up. We are gonna rock and roll just for about an hour. And if you haven't shared the link as yet, we thank you so much for sharing the link. In the event that you have to get some sort of notification that we're on, it simply means that you have to follow. So invite your friends and encourage them to follow, including the trench crappos, Have them follow. Have them follow. Right. So what's happening in your neck of the woods, guys? Talk to us. Talk to us. We want to be able to find out what's going on. Everybody's fed up, right? Are you fed up?
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. And while you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear in the citizen. They may want the people speak out.
Everybody fed up indeed. Good night. It's what is it? It's Wednesday, right? The 8th day of January. Oh gosh, it's 2025. I don't know what's happening. It's going zoom, and it's going that way pretty fast. Guess what? Everybody's fed up across Guyana, and as you fed up, prepare to, you know what, vote, 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 and prepare to do the right thing. What are you guys going to do? I'm not going to tell y'all right now what to do. Come elections time, y'all already know what to do. What exactly are you guys going to do? Jamal Aziz, Bim, Don Simpson, every single one of you, Nigel McKenzie, what are you guys going to do? Miss October, what are you guys going to do? Astel, Ogle, and the entire crew, Renee, Mackenzie, Talbot, what are you guys going to do? Deborah Sharona, right? Lynch, last night was a different night. Tonight is a new night. Not every night, old boy, going to set his alarm clock for 8:30 and bunks up back. But now that you've mentioned that, Deborah, my apologies for not being on last night. You know what I mean? And so I know how you guys feel, right? Lachman Aziz and all of you. Assalamu alaikum to Lachman Aziz and all our Muslim brothers and sisters across Guyana, wherever you are. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, right? And come elections time, we've got to vote these vagabonds out of office. Alhamdulillah, right? All right, what else is happening? Our Hindu brothers and sisters, namaste, namaskar. All our brothers and sisters, the Rastafarian, you name it. All the Rastas across Guyana, every single one, except maybe 3 of them. 3 of them. We don't have time with 3 of them, this one included.
Right? Here. So, here. I got you all back. I just paid the spoiler. I know that, somebody got to carry fight.
Don't change the thing, will you?
Look at who's here.
You alright?
Right there with you. Get on the way. Come, turn towards the light. Let us see. I got all y'all under my heights.
I got you all. I got all y'all. And come, turn the camera. Let us see.
He turned to Anil and he's telling Anil, I'll the eye. He couldn't say it's hail the eye. Hail, Hail, hail the isle. But that guy who claims to be a Rasta sounded as though he was telling Anil and that other guy, Minister of Health. I'll the eye. I'll the Isle. I'll the Isle. All right. Hey, what else is happening in your neck of the woods? All of you. They get some Rasta. Another one isling up the airwaves. I don't know what's happening with these guys, man. I honestly don't know what is happening with them. Something is definitely wrong. They're drinking the wrong set of oil. They're oiling their skin with the wrong set of oil. Some of them might be using all sort of oil. Some of them, Level Vibes, might be using DD oil. We're not here for that, though. Good night and welcome to Straight Up. Look, the other night, this minister, I forget to mention one thing, as she was ranting and raving about how much the PPP and Irfan Ali, they love young people, right? And all that they're doing for young people. Take a listen. I'm not starting up again with Rodriguez, right? Rodriguez, whatever her name is. Honestly, I don't even remember her first name other than it's Rodriguez, right? Listen to Rodriguez.
The APNU-AFC campaigned on a youth platform in 2015. And during the 2015 to 2020 period, we saw how they treated young people. They broke all their promises to the young people. They held no senior positions in the government. The promise of the National Youth Council was not achieved, even though it was in their 100-day plan. And as a matter of fact, President David Granger at the time said that it is not government's responsibility to create jobs for young people. It was President Ali that established the National Youth Council and is the People's Progressive Party civic government that has been standing with young people.
Oh, really? We have gone through this process again. Governments create a climate in terms of ensuring that young people get the tools they so that they can be prepared, whether it's the technical institutes, whether it's the University of Guyana, so forth and so on. And then, of course, the business and the private sectors and so forth, because of how government operates. And once you have a corrupt government, you're hardly going to have jobs to the people, because the private sector wouldn't be encouraged to go out there and do what is necessary. And once the private sector is not going to go out there, once there's not going to be that sort of investments in Guyana, guess what? There's not going to be jobs. And so the government's position is to create the atmosphere for jobs. And unfortunately, the PPP regime is not doing that, except they're filling up and flooding up the funeral homes. That's the only sort of jobs they are actually creating, whether it's I don't remember the funeral homes in Guyana. The only one that comes to mind is A&D. And y'all know why A&D funeral parlor comes to mind. Let me see if you guys understand the history and the bloodiest period in Guyana. A&D funeral parlor comes to mind. Hey, what else was happening in your neck of the woods? Speaking of young people, right? I forgot to whisper in, what's her name? Rodriguez, right? Remind me of her first pronouns. Remind me of the junior minister of housing. And just the other night, I forgot one thing, to remind that minister that the PPP regime, Irfinali, and those guys do not believe in young people. Y'all think I'm kidding you, huh? Y'all think I'm kidding you? Listen to how disrespectful this vagabond is to young people.
How old are you? I am 28, sir. And where do you live? In Kitty. You own your own home? Not as yet. Apply for a house lot? No, not yet. Well, sit down. You're not participating on the enhancement of your own life. At 28 years, you should be making...
Sit down. You're not participating in the enhancement of your own life? Is that how you treat young people? Susan Rodriguez, oh my gosh. Oh man, is that how you treat young people? Is that? It's a shame and a disgrace. And for tonight, what else are we going to be dealing with? Forget about this guy. Somebody said that they know him, that he apologized. He sent a message to me right here on 107.1. He says he wants to reach out and apologize because he was forced. If you take a look on his shirt or whatever, blouse or whatever it is he's wearing, I don't know, right? I can't tell. I'm not insulting the individual, but he has a microphone. Maybe that microphone was given to him by Kwamisha or one of the members of the crew. You know what crew I'm talking about. Take a listen and watch this guy, what he has here. So he was actually, we are told that he was actually paid for this.
Pleasant good night to you, Guyana. My name is David Benjamin, and I live in 65B Station Street, Kitty. And I just want to say that today I met the president of Guyana, and he reciprocated with me so great. I had to tell him that I can't believe you're such the boss of this country, such a great nation, and you stoop to my level, which is out of your ego, to come and shake my hand and invite me here tonight. So I appreciate it. As the president, I wasn't expecting that. So I think that he's a great guy, and y'all gonna sit
there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su.
Pleasant good night to you, Guyana. My name is David Benjamin, and I live in 65B Station Street, Kitty. And I just want to say that today I met the president of Guyana, and he received
that microphone that's right out in front of them, right? He lives in Kitty. Where in Guyana can we find Kitty? Where can somebody tell me? I mean, I'm not from Georgetown. I'm not a Georgetown guy. But where in Guyana can we find Kitty? And while you are looking for Kitty, what about those three musketeers out in Linden? Stammerman them. What's going on with them in Linden? Stammerman and the crew. All right. I don't know. Kitty. Somebody Kitty. Good night to all of you. All of you. Miss October seemed to be a high wine beer. F out and F out. Oh gosh. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? I wanna touch on this whole thing with the judiciary and the appointments of confirmation of substantive Chief Justice and the Chancellor. It's a ticklish one, and people should not be acting in positions for all those years. But as you know, the PPP regime, that is how they operate. They do not believe in confirming people. And one of the reasons why is because they want to work and stretch them out. And so for many years, scores of judges were not appointed. They were not confirmed, sorry. Scores of judges. Other places, other folks were not confirmed. And so this is nothing new. It is nothing new that the acting Chief Justice is still where she is. And now, I'm not too bothered, to be honest. The acting Chancellor is still where she is. Okay, ticklish. And the PPP has a history. I don't know how many of you know about that history, but they do have a history. A long, long history. But before we get into that, this is what Mark Jacobs placed on his Facebook page. He said, these are plantation Negroes in suits. That's Mark Jacobs' description of these ladies and men. Right there, you know who the ladies are, you know who the men are. And so Mark Jacobs is describing them as plantation Negroes in suits. Yes, these girls and these boys. You know who are the girls, you know who are the boys. I know the girls. Of course I know the girls. I see about 3 girls in this photograph. I don't know how many girls you guys see, but I see about 3. And so Mark Jacobs is describing them as plantation Negroes. Kelly Abrams says 2 girls. I see 3 girls, but that's okay. It's debatable. All right. I just thought I'd throw that up. Good night to Mark Jacobs. Good night. And when these folks, and we've got to be honest, and you know we love to keep it real with you guys right here on 107.1 FM. We love to keep it real right here on 107.1 FM. Now, when these vagabonds are done with Guyana, all of you will agree, when these vagabonds are done with Guyana, Guyana will look identical, just like how they look in all shape and forms. That is exactly how Guyana is going to look. And we've got to be careful. We do not want Guyana to look like them at all. That is why next elections, you've got to vote them out of office. We are not going to pussyfoot around. We are not going to be sleeping on the job. And that is why every single time we call the PPP, we call those in the PNC, the MPs, we call them out that they've got to do more. If our operator can take out what, if we don't vote those vagabonds out of office, Guyana will end up looking like Barrett, Jack Day, and Kwame, and the convicts, the Abdullahs, and these people. Just like this. Just like this. Now, I say nothing more. Just like that. And that is why it's important to get those vagabonds out of office by every legal means necessary. If you're now joining us, maybe for the first time, yes, it's straight up on 107.1 FM. All right, the judiciary. To me, it's a ticklish. It's ticklish. For me, it's just ticklish. That's all I wish to say. It's just ticklish. Eon Chang has been acting for a while. And then you had the acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Carl Singh, Carl Singh was acting Chief Justice for many, many years. And then Eon Chang, whose good friend is a guy named Chief Mike. Whoever Chief Mike is, people said that Chief Mike was the tout of this acting Chief Justice, Eon Chang, who is now dead. He's gone, dead. Now, this is how Guyana is. Guyana is really, under the PPP regime, a corrupt country. Where else in the world, openly, everybody knew that Chief Mike, whoever Chief Mike is or was or whatever, I don't know, Chief Mike was the tout of the acting Chief Justice. And many of you would know touts and what touts do, right? They get good touts and they get bad touts. Minibus operator touts, yeah, they make a living. Some of them fool you. They tell you one more passenger they need and you got to wait an hour before the one more. This time they need an entire bus. And so Chief Mike was said to be a tout for acting Chief Justice Eon Chang. And these are the people that the PPP put in office. Carl Singh became the Chief Justice. He became Chief Justice during Desmond Hoyt's time. And many of you would know the whole situation. Many of you would know that at the time, that was 2001. Around 2001, there was this discussion about who to appoint as Chief Justice. And at that time, the Chief Justice was Desiree Bernard. She's now dead. Now, the talks between Desmond Hoyt, then opposition leader, and Bharat Jagdeo was who they were going to make the Chief Justice. Out came a couple of names, Carl Singh, one of them, with less than 7 years of legal experience. He was just a lawyer. He never sat on a bench before, maybe another form of bench, but he never sat as a magistrate. He never sat as a judge. He was just a lawyer with just about 7 years experience or so. And so the talk at that time was whether Carl Singh or Claudette Singh. Carl Singh or Claudette Singh, they were the only two front runners. Carl Singh, Claudette Singh. And so Desmond Hoyt was leaning towards Claudette Singh. Bharat Jagdeo didn't like Claudette Singh because Claudette Singh ruled against the PPP in that decision in 2000 when she vitiated the elections, and fresh elections had to have been called in 2001. And so Jagdeo bumps raised. He never liked Claudette Singh. If he could have done a Ronald Waddle or a Courtney Crummy Wing on Claudette Singh at that time, he probably would have done it, knowing the history of the PPP regime and what transpired under his stewardship. I'm just saying, mind you. And so Claudette Singh was able to survive whatever Jagdeo had in mind for her, whatever that is. So Jagdeo bumps raised, and he didn't want Claudette Singh, the most senior judge in the High Court at that time, was Claudette Singh. Bharat Jagdeo said no. And so he is accustomed to grabbing his men. So out of the blue, nobody expected that, he grabbed Carl Singh. And he grabbed Carl Singh for many reasons. Is that he believed, Bharat Jagdeo believed, that he can control his man, Carl Singh. Outside of that, Carl Singh is not far from where Bharat is from. Bharat is from Unity and Carl Singh from the Maikoni area and so forth and so on. And so outside of that, Desmond Hoyt, it was a big no-no, Carl Singh. Some folks within the reform component of the PNC, because as you know, as of 2001, the PNC became PNCR. The R is for reform. And the reform was part of a reputable businessman. That is Stanley Ming, reputable. He is the kind of businessman that got rich the proper way, the legitimate way. Not like some people becoming millionaires and billionaires with smuggling gold, smuggling this, smuggling all manner of things, allegations of assassinations and terrorism groups and all that. Not Stanley Ming. But Stanley Ming was the senior member of the reform component of the PNCR. And then there was Eric Phillips. And then there was Supriya Singh. And then there was this guy named Jerome Khan. Jerome Khan. Jerome Khan was close to Desmond Hoyt, opposition leader at that time, and others. They were able to convince the late Desmond Hoyt, then opposition leader, that the better of the two Singhs was Carl Singh. They were able to convince Desmond Hoyt that Carl Singh was the guy. Now, you guys know when I sit, I don't talk. I may not talk at all, but I know, and I knew what transpired. That is why I'm saying that they were able to convince Desmond Hoyt that Carl Singh was the guy. And it was goodbye, Claudette Singh. Claudette thought she was going to be the person. Back then, I thought that the best or the better of the two was Claudette Singh. That Claudette Singh should have been given the position of Chief Justice. Claudette knows my position since back in 2001. But there were lots of other things transpired. Claudette knows, I know. Carl Singh knows, and I know. Maybe one day they will be revealed, but not tonight. But Desmond Hoyt chose Carl Singh. That's it. So in order for any sort of confirmation or anything, the leader of the opposition and whoever sits there as president, as it says in the Constitution, Article 127, it says, 127.1 says, the Chancellor and the Chief Justice shall each be appointed by the President, acting after obtaining the agreement of the leader of the opposition. The agreement. That is what it says. The agreement. In other words, if Irfan Ali wants to appoint any one of you, Gloria Pod, or Neville Sital, or Bantu, no, forget about Bantu King, he can't sit there, right? But if Irfan Ali wants to appoint any one of you there in the audience as Chief Justice, he will have to get the agreement coming from the leader of the opposition. He will have to get the agreement. That's according to the Constitution. Now, it's different when it comes to confirming that person as the substantive Chief Justice. The Constitution states that the president has to consult. Now, the language changed from the agreement to consult with. Now, it doesn't say that the opposition leader has to agree, that he has to agree. It doesn't say that. All it says that consultation, after consultation with the leader of the opposition. No matter what's the form, what's the means of consultation, there has to be consultation. Now, last year, or maybe the year before, Irfan Ali said publicly that he is willing and ready to confirm these two ladies. Acting Chief Justice, Roxanne George, Wiltshire, it is. and acting chancellor of the judiciary. Irfan Ali said publicly over a year ago that he will confirm these two ladies. It is not propaganda, it is what he said. It is what he said. The leader of the opposition said publicly that he has absolutely no problem and that he supports the confirmation. Story done. Right there. Story done. The leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, said publicly that he has absolutely no problem. None whatsoever. What more Irfan Ali wants? What more does he want? And so during that time, somebody whispered in his ear, maybe Jack Day or somebody else, that they do not want to confirm, they do not want to confirm at least one of the two. And we know which one they don't want to confirm. Good night to the acting chancellor, Janet Cummings. Good night to the acting chancellor. So one of these two justices, Irfan Ali's boss, Jack Dale, maybe, he doesn't want to confirm the acting chancellor. And the reason why they held off on this, it is because they do not want to confirm one and leave the other. So both have not been confirmed as yet. While they were seeking, and they are still seeking, to place somebody as the chancellor in order to remove this acting chancellor. That is what they have been doing. They have been calling names behind the scene, such as probably put Rishi Prasad, who is there in the appellate court. And then there's names such as Datadin and others. So the PPP, while you may be thinking that they're not fighting up there, they are cooking the books behind the scene. They want to find a way for Janet Cummings to be removed. But they don't have a problem at all with the acting Chief Justice to be confirmed. Absolutely. In fact, some folks are of the view that, and I want you guys to see my facial expression. Some folks are of the view that the PPP really do appreciate the acting Chief Justice, and that the PPP really do not have any problem in confirming the acting Chief Justice. None whatsoever. None. The problem, again, with the PPP is the acting chancellor. The problem is the acting chancellor. And if you guys do not read between the lines, don't be caught off guard, you know. While some of you are out there protesting, and it's your right, don't get me wrong, protesting for Roxanne George Wilshire to be confirmed. You see, the issue with some folks, they want to be nice, they want to be proper, they want to be decent, they want to, let's do the right thing. That these ladies cannot be there for all that long time and not confirm them. Some may go as far as to say, we've got to look at the bigger picture. We've got to do the decent thing. And my question is, what is the bigger picture? What is the decent thing to do? So put all of those things aside. Put all of the emotions aside. And the decent thing and the nice thing is that Roxanne George Wilshire should be confirmed. She has been acting for a long time. I don't know. I have an issue because if I was actually in Guyana, you didn't see me, I'm not going, this is one protest. You guys know I love a protest, right? I could protest, I can protest for tea, breakfast, and dinner. Whether a hungry belly or not, I'm out there protesting. Whether I'm thirsty, whatever, I am out there protesting. But this is one protest, y'all ain't gonna see me I ain't joining this protest. I ain't joining something, the gut feeling that I have. I ain't joining this protest at all. I ain't joining this protest. How many of you joining this protest? Let me see, guys. Jai Shrikant, Chanel Griffith, and others. How many of you guys joining this protest? Me in joining this protest? Because what's the sense that I join a protest fighting for somebody who wouldn't fight for me? Occasionally through a little small case, a little crumbs and so forth, I ain't fighting for nobody. I ain't protesting for nobody who ain't gonna protest for me. I mean, well, I am not going to do it. I am just not going to do it at all, at all, at all. I ain't going to do it. I ain't care what y'all say. I ain't going out in no hot sun. I want some people go out in the hot sun and protest for other things that are far more important. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, guys. Don't get me wrong. If they have to be confirmed, so be it. That is why I'm saying don't get me wrong. If they have to be confirmed, so be it. But I ain't going and join no protest. Some people might say, oh, the Constitution is bigger. The situation is bigger. What situation? What situation? Y'all see the writing is right there on the wall. And y'all running right into it. Right into that wall. So that there will be more victims, more judicial victims. We are cases that are clear-cut cases that ought to be, decision ought to be based on the Constitution, based on the law, and all manner of things. But we're seeing decisions based on emotions and based on political views and one-sidedness. I ain't going out there and protest for nobody to be confirmed as, y'all know what I want to say, right? Justice Janet Cummings. Good night to Justice Janet Cummings. Good night. She has been held back a lot. The PPP doesn't like people who are independent. And in my opinion, the acting chancellor has shown that she can get the job done, that she is independent. She rules in the middle based on what the Constitution says. She doesn't swing this way, she doesn't swing that way. And so if there is going to be the confirmation and the acting chancellor is confirmed, I will stand up right here and dance for you because it will be a victory for all Guyana. It will be a victory for the Constitution of Guyana, not a victory for the PPP, not a victory for the PNC or so, a victory for Guyana. And those are the sort of judges and justices and magistrates that we want. Those who can interpret the Constitution, how the Constitution and the laws ought to be interpreted. Not to make decisions, political decisions, or they are basically political activists on the bench. We do not want that at all. And as a result of that, me ain't going and protest for none. None. I ain't protest. I doubt of this protest. Y'all try. Y'all try. I want some of them to go and protest the corruption. I want them to go in Linden and protest the hundreds of young people who cannot go to school because of corruption out there in Linden. A school cannot be finished as yet. I want some of them to go and protest in other areas. Let them go in front of GCOM and protest GCOM. In the numbers, you know, again, this is nothing personal about those couple of folks who are in front of the appellate court. You go in and protest in front of the appellate court. Go in front of Irfan Ali's office at Chandrapal Drive. Go in front of the office of the president, and that is where a good image, the optics will be good. Protests call on him because he is the one that's stymieing the process. You're not going to hat son in front of the appeals court. You're going in front of the Chancellor of the Judiciary. What the Chancellor of the Judiciary can do? Conform herself? Go in front of Irfan's office. He is the one that y'all got to go and make y'all voices loud and clear in front of his office. In front of the appeals court office. Oh, Father, sometimes they just get vexed with me. They just get vexed with me. But it is what it is. How many of you guys know her? Chancellor of the Judiciary. She was confirmed. The last that was confirmed. The last. She went on and she became Justice of the Caribbean Court of Justice. Deceased now. Desiree Bernard. A nice lady, those of you who knew her. Very, very nice lady. She once called me into her chambers to something I said about the judiciary. And she smiled and I smiled and I left. I wasn't going to be charged for contempt of court or nothing, but I spoke about the judiciary. She didn't like it, but she dealt with it in a professional manner. Desiree Bernard. There has been a more than 20-year impasse on judicial appointments, with the last substantive chancellor being Justice Desiree Bernard and Justice Carl Singh, the last Chief Justice. As a result of negotiation between the then opposition leader and the then vagabond who sat there as president. Since then, the PPP isn't concerned about anything else. When they do not confirm these folks, guess what happens? When they do not confirm these folks, it simply means that they are hijacking the judiciary. And they are using these folks who have not been confirmed as political pawns. It has to stop. And so let's get back to this appointment here now. This confirmation, sorry. If Irfan Ali really wants to confirm these ladies, he can do it tonight. Right now, he can do it. But again, I wish to repeat, he doesn't want to do it because they do not want Janet Cummings, who is the acting chancellor. They want her out of the place so that they can replace her with either Datadin, I'm told, or Rishi Prasad. Rishi Prasad is one of those senior justices at the appellate court in Guyana. And that is what is happening. So do not be surprised if you hear a resignation. And once you hear a resignation, guess what? Watch out for the curveball the PPP is about to bowl. Watch out for the curveball. I will be surprised if they confirm the acting chancellor. I wouldn't be surprised if the acting chancellor goes into retirement. Once she goes into retirement, the PPP will put their man as chancellor. They will have their woman as chief justice. That's it. Now, how many of you don't read when decisions are made? You think decisions are made just like that? Decisions are made for political reasons. Some judicial decisions are made because of political connections. And now some folks are going to rush and say, Ben Sharp is attacking the judiciary. No, I'm not attacking the judiciary. I know a lot of judges and lots of magistrates. They mean well. But because of the corrupt PPP regime, just like they have corrupt the police force, some parts of the police force, they want to corrupt the entire judiciary. But they're still honorable judges in the judiciary there in Guyana. We know who they are. I can call a couple of their names. We have seen their rulings. They weren't afraid to rule against the state, whether it's Irfan, whether it's Jagdev. They weren't afraid. And those are the kinds of judges we need. We don't need soft pups. An iron standing inside in no sun to protest for people to be confirmed, only to use that as a weapon against not me. Sorry, guys. I'm sitting this one out.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up.
Those of us who understand the judiciary there in Guyana, been through it at, whether it's the high court, the low court, all of it, we understand the corruption is rampant in the judiciary. They have senior government officials can call certain magistrates and direct them how to rule. If you think I'm lying, there was a magistrate by the name of Dawn Holder Alert. She's now Dawn Holder Cush, I believe. She was sitting as a magistrate at Providence Magistrates Court. And there was a protest, a huge protest, block off the road. Yeah. And so they looked for me and they charged me. And they had me under house arrest for the entire weekend because I refused to come out and I was playing Bob Marley for them. Anyways, they took me down to Providence and dig some silly charges on me for protesting and all sort of things. And the senior police officers were begging the magistrate, Dawn Holder Cush. She's Dawn Cush now, if she's watching. They were begging her to send me to jail, begging her to send me to jail. That's how these people operate. That is exactly how they operate. So I know how the judiciary operates. There's much more I can say, but I don't want to go that route at all. Y'all know me already. I don't show everything out there one time. I just don't do it. I don't believe in doing it. You got to save some for Bombay. And you guys know what Bombay is, right? You got to save some for Bombay. You got to save some for Bombay. And that is what I'm doing now. I'm not talking everything right now. So be careful, guys. Be careful with who you go out and protest for. Be extra careful because you might just be protesting and fighting and putting folks in place that will further oppress you, and that wouldn't rule in the constitutional favor and the people's favorites. For the most part, it's just a political thing, and you've got to be careful. Don't nice it up with it's the good thing to be done and it's the constitutional thing, and many times you want to sound nice and so forth. Maybe that's what held our ancestors for 400 years, because we always want to do what's nice things and be this, and we've got to be proper and all these things. I ain't going to no sun for nothing, absolutely nothing. Tonight we were to have a guest, and that guest was going to talk about a few things, Bornham, etc. Surprise guest, but we'll probably leave that for tomorrow. And then we'll have Tom as well, Tom Anderson. Lots of things. Tom Anderson is going to be back with us by Friday, hopefully. But for now, I'm gone. I'm leaving you guys for now. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. But again, let me leave you guys with this here. Be extra careful. The PPP will throw a curveball. They're holding out, not because they want to hold out or stretching this whole situation out. It is simply, for one reason, they do not want to confirm the acting chancellor of the judiciary. They are quite comfortable, and maybe they have their reasons why they're comfortable with the acting chief justice. And maybe you guys could understand why also. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything other than it is what it is. But watch out for the curveball. There is a curveball. Watch out for the curveball. I heard contracts giving away left, right, and center. Contracts. The PPP is going to give out more contracts. Do not be caught up with a couple of contracts to clean drains, dig gutters, and all these sort of things. You will be selling your souls. Be careful with those contracts, guys. You guys listen to Apostle Mark. Be careful with those contracts. Listen to Apostle Mark. Can't say I never did warn y'all. Yeah? Listen to Apostle Mark. Do not grab those contracts. Be careful. Unless you're getting billions of dollars of contracts like how the Mohammeds and them were getting. They had cushy, nice, big contracts. Hardly went through any tender. They were all enjoying themselves, right? I'm out of here, guys. Yeah, throw a couple of shades, but lots more shades to be thrown. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Aliaya.
Right? Here. So, listen here. I got you all back. I just paid the spoiler. I know that, huh? Seriously? Somebody got to carry five. Don't change the thing, will you? Look at who's here. You alright? Right there with you. Get on the way. Come, turn towards the light. Let us see. I got all y'all under my heights. One love, right? One love. They don't know how far we go. They don't know this. One love.